Hi guys! So this will be the first video of my book haul because there's going to be a series of 4 videos since I've accumulated a lot of books since last hauling on this channel. 2 of them are going to be books that I've received from Kaitlin since I've received 3 bags full. Thank you, Kaitlin. One is one I've got from subscription boxes and events I've been to, and the 4th is books I've bought with my own money. So yeah. So this part is going to be the first bag that Kaitlin got me around January, February earlier this year. So yeah, here we go. So the first one is The Fall by Bethany Griffin. I believe this is a young adult horror, though I'm not too sure. It's about a gripping psychological thriller reimagining Edgar Allan Poe's classic The Fall of the House of Usher. It's about these type of people called ushers, and that's all I know really. So yeah, that's the first one. Second one is No Place Like Home by Kerry Wilkinson. It's a standalone novel of hers. It's a crime novel, and this book is about a young man who, at the beginning of his life, in his school life, was told by a head teacher that he'd go to prison or the grave. So he obviously was very much a troublemaker when he was younger. It's about him coming back to his hometown and all of his past catching up with him and affecting his family back at home. So that was that one. Next one is Blame by Simon Mayo. Yeah. This is a YA, and it's about when the parents' punishments are then given to the children. So instead of, so like if my mum stole something, I would be punished. I would be given the punishment, not her. So yeah, 2 teenagers who are in prison for what their parents have done, and they believe injustice has happened because they didn't do it. So they commit a riot, or they're in the throes of a riot, and then they realise they've got a chance to break out family prison and escape. So that's that book. Next is Neil Stephenson's Quicksilver. It's quite a long book. Quite a lot of the books she's given me are quite long, and hasn't got much of a blurb. Just says it's a novel of history, adventure, science, invention, sex, absurdity, piracy, madness, death, and alchemy that sweeps across continents and decades. So yeah, that's that book. Next one is Ken Follett's Fall of Giants, which is, I believe, is the first in a series. Yep, book 1 of the Century Trilogy. She's also given me his other novel from another part of the series called The Pillars of the Earth, and if I remember rightly, there was a TV programme about this a couple of years ago, I believe, and both of these are history novels. Next is A Man Lies Dreaming by Levi Tidhar, and it's a book that is set in a concentration camp, so that's interesting. Acacia by David Anthony Durham. This is a fantasy novel in the War with the Mine, and it's the first book in that series, so I hope to get to that soon because I do love fantasy. Next is Twisted by Bonnie M. Hennessy, and this is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. A Promise of Fire by Amanda Bouchette. This came out earlier this year, I believe, and it's part of the Kingmaker Chronicles. Next one is One of Us is Lying, The Brain, The Beauty, The Bad Boy, The Jock, and and this is the 5 people who are working in one room, and one of them doesn't make out alive, and they have to sort out which of the other 4 did it, or if any of them did it. Next one is Versifications by James Lovegrove. This is a collection of short stories, and I believe they are short, and I believe they're sci-fi short stories. Yeah. So each little story is based around space or robotics. Next one is by Barker's Imagica. I don't know how you say that. I'm sorry, but this is quite an old book, I think. And it's got a quote from Stephen King on the front saying, "Clive Barker is so good that I'm literally tongue-tied," and that is something coming from Stephen King. So excited to read that. Next one is Kelly Armstrong, The Missing. I think I've read Kelly Armstrong before. I'm not too sure. Oh yes, I did read the first book in her Darkest Powers trilogy, The Summoning. But I read that when I was about 13, 14, and I can't really remember how it goes. So I'm looking forward to this one. I believe it's also why I like her original series. I think it's about a town where kids either each summer a dozen kids leave and at least a quarter never come back. Yeah, it's about a girl who also wants to leave, but then she meets a boy, like many young adult books do. But then he goes missing, and so yeah, troubles ensue from there. Next book is And I Darken by Kirsten White, and this was very much a big book on YouTube, on BookTube really, at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. This is an art copy which Kaitlin received, and she read it and she enjoyed it, but she didn't want to keep it, so she gave it to me, so hopefully I'll get to that soon. Next one is Invaders. It's an anthology edited by Jacob Wiseman, and it is 22 tales from the outer limits of literature, and each story is written by a different author. None that I've heard of, but hopefully I'll enjoy it. Next one is A Crucible of Souls by Mitchell Hogan, and it's Sorcery Ascendant Sequence Book 1. So obviously this is part of a long series. I don't know much about it. I assume it's something about pirates and stuff because there's a photo of a ship on the front. Correct me if I'm wrong, if any of you have already read it. Then The Darkness That Comes Before by R. Scott Baker. Wake of Vultures and Conspiracy of Ravens by Lila Bowen, and these are part of a series. Bad Girls Throughout History by Anne Shen, and this is a picture book that has bad girls in history with a photo or a drawing of them, and then a description of all the things that they did. And finally, the last book in this haul is George R.R. Martin's Fever Dream. So I've read all of his Game of Thrones books. I'm waiting for the 6th book to come out, as everyone is really. And this, I believe, is just a standalone book. And they might for him call it a novella because it's like a quarter size of his normal books. So yeah, that's it for part 1. See you for part 2 of Caitlin's books she gave me and the rest of my hauls. Thank you. Bye.